What's going on, guys? Have a Kumbhakarna ranked gameplay for you, and basically the point of this video is I'm gonna go over and analyze my own gameplay and just basically tell you why I'm making every decision that I make. Reading the chat here, we had a funny little chat in this lobby. Whenever I play ranked, I like to, instead of, now that they have the new banning system where you can end up banning like the same characters, like there's always like repeat bans on each team, I like to ban more niche picks. So a pick that I normally ban is like Izanami, just because Izanami's a free lane win, and I'd rather have a chance of winning the lane every single lane. The people that I'm playing with, I actually got them in like so many games in a row, and we are just destroying the enemy team over and over again. I might just skip into the game, despite the fact that this chat's actually pretty entertaining. At least to an idiot like me. Let's see, let's skip through a little bit. There's me, I end up picking the Kumba. Which, there's no like real reason why I picked Kumba here. That's what, there's nothing to analyze about the pick. I just felt like picking Kumba. We have a Kumba Iza lane, and I'm playing into a Jingqian Jingwei lane. So basically what I'm thinking in my head right now is that we just automatically won lane. Like, I know we're gonna win lane. So I'm gonna play with that in mind, and I'm also gonna build with that in mind. On Kumba, I believe the 1 is technically better lane clear, but I think you should go the 2 anyways at all times, because the 1's just not a good ability. The 2 is just a lot easier to use and has a CC attached to it, and especially if you have an Izanami on your team, you don't need the slightly better wave clear from the 1. You should most definitely be going your 2 in that case. And I am going to be buying Frenzy Relic, because I know that we're going to win lane super hard, and I'm hoping that either popping it during the wave or after the first wave could result in a lot of pressure and maybe even a kill. I'm going Benevolence every game in this meta. I'm going Hog every game, 4 pots, always health. Unless they have Quadra Physical or Quadra Magical, or I'm playing a non-magical pick, I'm going Thebes as my first item. That's the criteria. If it's none of those exceptions, just go Thebes. Yeah, I kind of trolled the green buff there, but I know it's not going to matter. There's no way that that slight mess up would matter with how unfair the lane pressure matchup is. So you can always use your ability on the green buff, and you'll have it by wave still. And obviously you're always popping Hog on the purple buff. So here I know we're going to win lane anyway, so I'm not even going to hit wave. I'm literally just going to let Iza hit wave instead and focus on getting my ability off right here. Like you could tell, I wanted to do that entire wave. I had a plan in mind from the very start. And look at that. Because of the way I played, Jingwei's basically almost already dead, and we have like infinite pressure right now. Like we're literally hitting the wave right outside their tower line. So because of that, obviously I just want to keep up the pressure. So any abilities I'm using, it's basically to maybe look for a kill if possible, but it's mostly just to keep up the pressure. And I'm really big into farming. I'm not one of those people that just sits at their tower line the whole game. That's just asking to get ganked. So if you want the jungler to not sit in your lane all game, and you just want to play the safer and overall better way, in my opinion, make sure you're grabbing the camps after every wave and just maximizing your farm, and not just being kill hungry and playing arena. Like at the end of the day, what I really care about is just winning lane so I can get the camps. And if you can, you want to let your ADC get the last hit on the minions and camps as much as possible. I don't really think I cared that much this game, but if you're trying your hardest, you're going to let the, especially if you're going Sentinel's Gift, you really need to be letting your ADC last hit everything. If you end up having an ADC who doesn't follow you, just try to spam pings and VGS to get them to follow you and stop trolling, because you will get a lot of ADCs that just care about kills and they'll troll. One thing I should actually super focus on, which I obviously didn't, is when your ADC is going to arrow and they have those marked minions, you really need to let them get the final hit on those marked minions. That's super important. I did not do that. I trolled. If you have infinite pressure, you should be going for their purple buff steals. I wouldn't go for the purple buff steals every time you're winning lane, but when you're winning it this hard, you should definitely be doing it. And obviously, if you know their jungler's nowhere nearby and you see that you have mid pressure, so there's no chance of their mid coming by, then there's no point not to do it in that case either. And another thing that's cool about Kumba is his passive lets you play way more aggressive, like, because you basically have 2 lives, or you have a chance at redemption, I guess you could say. So you can just feel free to play aggressive like this. Popping Frenzy for her. That was just so we like maximize the amount of damage he's gonna get on them, because we want to keep them at low health bars, so we just continue the infinite pressure that we have in this lane. I see the kill potential here, so I'm going in. Even though you're playing with, you might be playing with randoms, you really need to be paying attention to how your ADC wants to play and what they're doing, so you can synergize with them, follow up on them, and better set up for them, because, I mean, you're literally playing support. It's kind of what the role's about. It's like I need to be making sure I'm focusing on if she's going in, I'm going in. Whether I think it's a good idea or not, because it's better to be on the same page with the bad plan than to be on, you know, different pages altogether. So I'm killing him, and then I'm gonna get under tower before Thana drops, so the tower shoots me instead of Thana, which will let Thana get the kill, because I know that my passive will revive me anyways. Thana still ended up dying, but I played that as best as I could. And I'm even going to get the peel out on her, which is nice. But yeah, that's just one of the things you need to be thinking about as Kumba. Like, you need to be making use of this passive. Like, I can 100% afford to take those tower shots for my Thana there, because I won't die either way. So now that I'm level 6 and I've got my Thieves, I'm going to think about rotating mid. I'm pretty sure my mid laner, I think my mid laner's been doing decent. Let's see, I'm checking right now. That's probably what I just did. I saw that she was 3-1, so I know that I can like afford to play around mid aggressively and hope to find success, because that's another thing you have to pay attention to in support, is just how good your teammates are doing and like how far ahead or behind they are, because that's going to help you decide if you should be playing aggressive or not, or like playing around their lane, or wanting to ignore their lane. Because if they're behind, you want to ignore their lane, because you're going to lose the fight anyway, and ignoring their lane helps them not have to split farm with you, and they'll be able to farm better, as long as they don't feed and throw. Because, I mean, if they're going to feed and fight from behind anyways, then they're just throwing, and there's nothing you can do about that. Just trying to create pressure in mid, try to steal their camps, put out damage on them, help my Morgan clear faster. I'm paying attention to the rotation call from Shock, but Bologna was in lane the whole time, so it was a false alarm. Just another thing you got to train your mind to always hear. Always hear the call-outs of your teammates. If they're saying like, oh, enemy incoming or enemy missing, you need to have that in the back of your mind and make that shape the way you play. That was a really good pill by my Morgan. She honestly just saved me from feeding. So here, I'm basically deciding if I just get a movement speed item or if I should get solve, because 9 times out of 10 you're getting solve next. But I was thinking about how on Kumba, movement speed is super valuable, because the way you actually want to play Kumba is you're going to peel by zoning most of the time, because your mez works by you know, it's like a stun, but it's a stun that ends if somebody hurts them. So you want to mez them when they're far away from your team, but while there's a fight still going on. So it's just like cutting someone out of the fight. And to get into their backline like that, you're going to need a lot of movement speed. Like you can see here, I go straight to their backline instead of being closer to my E's, and I'm more with my chalk. And that's just a Kumbhakarna thing. And as you can see, I'm like really thinking a lot during these fights. Like I'm getting in front of the chalk just in case I need to body block him. You know, like just in case they didn't have the damage to kill him. But yeah, movement speed's just really good synergy on Kumba. So I'm actually going to build into movement speed items instead, like Witchblade. Witchblade's really good here because it'll slow down the attack speed of the, mainly the Bellona and Jing. It is worth it to die for those. Like as you can see now, our obelisk is basically full. So when I respawn here, I'm gonna be able to go and get the scepter, and that's just completely worth it. I wouldn't say it's like by far worth it. So like when it's risky, you really don't want to do it, and if you're just like a newer player, you probably really don't want to do it. But at the end of the day, like if you know how to play around the obelisk, it's worth it to die for it in certain situations, and I think that was one of them. So yeah, I'm gonna go pick up the scepter now. While I'm doing that, I will talk about the Kumbhakarna combo. You wanna basically start with your ult. Then when they land, hit them with your root, like charge your root before they land so it immediately roots them as soon as they land. And then once the root ends, then you can mez them. And you can one at any time during that, except for when they're mezzed, obviously. And that'll keep them CC'd and do the most damage. I mean, if you're hitting them with every ability, it's doing the same amount of damage, but that's like the best order of operations for your abilities. So, I mean, they called attack the Gold Fury, but then my Ezek trolled, so I'm like, okay, well, he's just trolling, so I'm not going to stay here. She's playing Arena right now. And another thing about Kumbhakarna, and you'll see later on that I kind of realized this and I stopped doing it, is that the Scepter's actually, even though the Scepter's OP and it might be worth picking up anyways, it has negative synergy with Kumbhakarna's 3 because it'll automatically pop the mez. So it's actually better when you're playing Kumbhakarna to let somebody else get it. I tried to get it blown out of the fight as early as possible to hopefully save my teammate. It didn't end up working out. I'm just thinking to myself that we have kill potential in this guy. I like to call it kill pot. So like I'm seeing kill pot here, and so I'm just gonna stay. Just perfect teamwork. Right now, I'm just like thinking really heavy what I want to get next, and I'm like, you know, I really want more movement speed. You probably don't need more than 2 items. I think I was just thinking whether I should get Winged Blade or Relic Dagger, because Winged Blade gives you some magical prods, and I don't have magical prods except for all my thieves right now. But I'm like, you know what? We're so far ahead that I really don't need to go Winged Blade. And Relic Dagger, I feel like, is really good from ahead. Being able to just pop relics way, like in pretty much every fight in the mid game, just gives your team a way bigger advantage. It also has cooldown on it, and the cooldown's huge. Honestly, that alone's enough just to go the Relic Dagger instead. Cooldown is really important on a lot of the Guardians, and Kumba's definitely one of them. I might be kind of trolling here, sitting here with Izanami in right lane when everybody's in mid lane, so I am gonna make the rotation. There's definitely kill potential here. As you can see, like I said, on Kumba, I'm just gonna be running into the back line. Excellent beads by the Thoth. So yeah, this fight just went as poorly as possible. So it's really good play by my team just to basically end the fight there. But I mean, here's the thing: so we have the pressure. So I mean, we're just gonna get objectives off of a losing team fight. We lost that team fight, and we're still gonna get pyro. Chalk strolling. But yeah, I mean, just quick little tip. You should already know this, but you gotta really think to yourself if you're actually following this rule, because even like I play with people every single day that still do this, is don't play arena if you're playing conquest. Actually focus on objectives. Like there's definitely people out there that would have just kept fighting and done that whole team fight till the very end, and then they would have lost, and then they would have gotten the fucking pyro or something, you know. As you see, I'm literally just focusing on their backline. I'm not focused on peeling at all, because like this is kind of a form of peeling, just keeping the Thoth out of the fight. Cause your 2's not that good at peeling. Your 3's trash at peeling unless your teammate's actually not gonna hit them and is actually gonna run away afterwards, which doesn't happen a lot. So it's really just your ult that's super good at peeling. But Kumbhakarna's zone is some of the best zone in the game, and that's why you see, like, back in the day, like, Divios would play Kumbhakarna in the solo lane. It's just because that's what the solo laner's job is to zone, and Kumbhakarna is one of the best zoners in the game. Like, this is just playing to his strengths. Like, if it doesn't work out, then that sucks. You know, then I should just pick a different character, because trying to just peel for him, like play like a Kepi or Ganesh, like he's not a Kepi or Ganesh. You gotta play to your character strengths. And don't be afraid, like, if you're really trying to win the game, bro, like, you're wanting to be good at Smite, you're wanting to win your games, don't be afraid to VGS, like, attack the Gold Feeder, attack the Fire Giant, and try to get your team to listen to callouts. As you can see, a lot of times when I go in, and you'll realize this is just how you play a lot of support picks. This is just, like, typical support in a team fight, is if you are gonna dive like me at first, after your first wave of abilities, you then want to look behind you and then try to peel with your second wave instead of continuing to just stand there and take damage for free. Because I mean, if you're out of abilities, now that person's just gonna wail on you, so you might as well just start running back to your team after that, and hopefully your abilities will come back up and you'll be able to peel whoever dove your teammates. Like, that's what I tried to do there with the Bologna. Just waiting for the scepter to spawn here. You in this map, you need to be paying attention to the scepter if you're playing support, because Usually the support's the best with the Scepter. Like I said, I'm kind of trolling because Kumba is not good with Scepter, but most of the time you are going to be the one who's wanting the Scepter. Kumba's pretty decent with Blink. The biggest reason why I ended up going Blink is because we're so far ahead that I don't feel like I need appeal relic. Like, I haven't really had to peel that much this game. Like, my teammates are just shitting on them. You know, always be thinking about things like that and letting that actually, like, sway what kind of relic you're getting. It's just like, how good are you doing in this particular match? Every match is different. You need to be thinking about all the different factors that could make one relic better than the other, and then choose after that. I heard the gank call and the attack middle lane call, so you know I'm gonna follow up on what my teammates want to happen. I'm popping the frenzy for them during this team fight. Insane start to the team fight. I mean, that's literally like a perfect engage. That is just a perfect engage. We played that perfectly. That's how you engage on Kumba. But yeah, also, like I said, trust your teammates, unless it's like a super, super, super obviously dumb idea. Just trust your teammates. Like, if they tell you to attack middle lane or gank middle lane, go ahead and do it. Because then you know 100% you're going to get follow-up, because they're the ones who actually did it. And if not, then they trolled you and you get to rage at them and say something toxic. Right there, I probably could have went back to the Morgan and peeled Morgan. But we are going to get the Bologna kill because of this. Remember to always charge up that 2 while they're falling back down. Just great CC chaining. Thought we were going big. But I mean, I actually really do like that we didn't go big there. That would have been pretty risky. But yeah, let me know if you'd rather me do live commentaries, because I'm like thinking in my head right now during this downtime of the game, is a live commentary just better, or are these voiceovers the better idea? Because I mean, like I said, the point of these videos is I want to be able to analyze my gameplay the best possible, but if I'm doing it live, I can kind of just tell you what I'm thinking in the moment. Just some simple Kumba gameplay. Nothing needs to be analyzed there. Y'all will learn just by watching. Now, like I said, cooldown's super important on Kumba, so that's why I am going into the Spirit Robe here, because I want to get more cooldown. And I mean, Spirit Robe's just an OP item in general. But I'm just needing more of both protection still, because I want the Witchblade and the Relic Dagger after the Thebes, so that's another reason why I'm going to do item. Being sarcastic in the chat. Yeah, I'm thinking I might do live comms now. It kind of sucks because I have 3 gameplays recorded, but this was the best out of the 4 that I had. And like the other 3 are good too. They're like a Khepri, a Ganesh, really good comeback on Ganesh actually. I might just have to post that as such a good comeback, but yeah, I don't know. I might like doing the live comms more. So let me know down in the comments for sure. Because I mean, even though I really do want to focus on the informational aspect of my videos, I feel like I won't really be lacking much informational value if I do it live. I might even get more out of it, but I also feel like that's just more entertainment as well. It's hard to beat entertainment during the freaking cut comm, you know? Making sure I pop Frenzy in every fight. That was an amazing ult by me because I knew my Izanami was right behind me and she'd see me do that and immediately know to follow up, and I had the CC afterwards to keep him there long enough for her to follow up. So I mean, you just need to be doing quick little thoughts there. Morgan Le Fay kind of trolled dying there. Now, the reason why I'm out of the pit is because I'm going to zone the Thoth off because he does have a lot of range. I mean, I super doubt it. It's so unlikely that he would do anything, but at the same time, I can kind of put pressure on him, make it harder for him to farm while we're doing the Fire Giant, and they just simply don't need me on the Fire Giant. Putting wards right outside their gate just because we have infinite pressure and we want to be able to control the entire map. You can see I'm going so deep. I'm going so deep. Great ult by the Jingwei there. Great ult by the Jingwei. She was 100% dead from that if she actually got hit by that. I blink in, pop the Frenzy, use my whole kit. I'm trying to look at whoever my teammates are looking at all times. I'm always trying to look at who my teammates are looking at. Or, you know, like if I know they're looking at who I'm looking at, then yeah. Basically the same thing. That didn't go very well though. Probably could have played that fight better. Yeah, no, we just played arena there too hard. We played arena there too hard. We weren't focusing on the objective enough. So here's where I'm telling my teammate to come pick up the scepter instead, so my 3 actually will work. I knew my teammate was coming, that's why I used my ult. It's just because I looked at my minimap, I'm like, my Izanami is close enough to where she will get to my Jingwei if I use my whole kit on her. Otherwise, I would have just kept chasing her, but kept the ult until a teammate got close enough. You can see I'm slowly catching up to her because of my my movement speed items. That's why I'm saying the movement speed items are really good on Kumba. And then after I mez her, I don't counter my own mez by hitting her. I let her take the full brunt of the CC and I ping her so my teammates know to come pick her up. Big fan of popping frenzies on Phoenixes just to make sure you get them as fast as possible. And here I'm just gonna zone them off of the Phoenix. I know my teammates want to grab this Phoenix, so I'm gonna zone them off the Phoenix. Make this Phoenix as easy and free as possible. Don't even let them hurt anybody but me by standing in their face. If you want to hurt someone, you're gonna have to hurt me. I thought potentially my teammates could follow it fast enough on that Jingwei, which is why I ulted her. It didn't end up happening though. Obviously, like that's another thing about the just doing a voiceover. I feel like I say a lot of stuff that's just obvious, but it's like hard not to do it. Whereas if it was live, I wouldn't be doing that. And as you can see, if you're reading the chat, I'm like just having a grand old time. I just think that would be way more entertaining live. Kind of trolling right here. I'm just trying not to die here. But yeah, I'm really happy I had this good Kumba game, because I feel like Kumba's one of those characters that not a lot of people know how to play correctly, and he's just looked at as like people underestimate him, like they think he's like worse than he is, and just a lot of people don't play him in general. So I think this is one of the better videos to do early. I do pick up the Mantle of Discord, so now I believe I have 40% cooldown. I at least have 30%. Can't remember if Witchblade has cooldown on it or not. I think it does, so that might be 40, which is just a great build. Like, I actually really love this build on Kumba. You have enough procs, you have enough health, and you have the cooldown you want, and you have tons of movement speed. I mean, look at my HP with this build. And I actually have a good amount of procs too, especially because of my starter upgrade. I'm looking just to see if anybody tries to do a cheeky fire steal. Nobody does. They're kind of just focused on my teammates. Getting my ass beat, so I'm deciding just to ult now. You know, sometimes you just gotta do it. Like, you can't look for the perfect opportunity. You just have to, you know, do something at least. So, you know, I'm getting my ass beat. I might as well just ult here. I was chasing her because I was thinking about blinking in on her, but then Thoth canceled my blink, but then Thana went in on him. Dude, why am I saying like obvious stuff? You're literally watching, bro. Like, I'm trying to say what I'm thinking in my mind, but this is game here. I do have a really funny kill on the, I think it's the Jingwei though. Yeah, I killed the Jingwei. It's fucking hilarious. The minions were beating ass, bro. The minions were beating ass. That was a very fun game. Hopefully that's also a game that you can learn a lot from. I tried to throw in like just general information, especially since this is my first video, like information that doesn't pertain only to Kumba, but pertains to like the support role itself and the game of Conquest itself. But yeah, hopefully this at the end of the day just helped, because that's like the whole point of the video. I know it might not have been the most entertaining video, but you know, I'll try to make them more entertaining in the future. But at the end of the day, that is my focus, is the informational part. So yeah, I'm not gonna do a like a real closing or ending or outro or whatever they call it on YouTube. I'm just gonna end the video here. Thanks for watching, guys.